I will record this. So type in a greater than sign there. All right, hit Control S. It should have saved it, right? If you go back to your browser, it's really not going to make a difference because we haven't entered anything in yet, right? So we got to enter some stuff. Cursor up one cell or go up, hit enter. There's two parts of an HTML tag. There's the head tag and there's the body. There's the head section, the body section. All right, so type in a space, a less than sign, the word head. Hit enter. Wait, sorry, you got to close that. All right. There you go. Now hit enter. Do another space, less than slash head. So you open the head, you close the head, and then greater than sign. All right, hit enter. So that's one section. Do another space, less than, body, greater than sign. Enter, space, less than, slash, body, greater than. So there's our two sections. All right, go up to the after head. Up, one more. There you go. All right, so we open up the header section, hit enter. Two spaces, because this is all part of the head section. Do a less than the word title. And a greater than, and now type in your name. So Isaac Nelson's. My web homepage. And then end the title, so less than slash title. No, you know, everything else we always put it on a separate line, but I would just keep it on this line.
Do I need a space?
There you go. Nope, that looks perfect. That's exactly how you want to do. Because if you put a space before Isaac or after homepage, it's called white space and it gets ignored. But the spaces in between, like Isaac Nelson, you know, I mean, that makes it more readable. So save this, hit Control S. And then go to your browser and hit refresh. And if you look on your tab name, way to the right, up on top. Way to the right, way up on top, it says Isaac Nelson's My Web, and it kind of fades out after that. All right, way up on that tab name. Just like you've got post attendee, you've got eLearn, My Profile, and application status. All right, look good?
Yep.
All right, go back to Notepad. All right, for the body. So go after the word body. Hit enter, space, space. We're going to start a paragraph, so it's less than, P for paragraph, greater than. Hi, my name's Isaac Nelson, and this is my webpage. Period, less than, slash P. Save this, refresh your page. Rather than minimizing, you could just move that down a little bit and reload it. And there we go, all right? So now you got something on the body section. Good so far?
Yep.
All right, let's keep building. So after that paragraph, hit enter. Do a couple of spaces. Do a less than. HR for horizontal rule, space, and a slash, and a greater than. The horizontal rule tag it's kind of an old tag, but what it does is it'll put a line all the way across your page. So if you want to kind of separate things on a page, you can do a line or a horizontal rule. This one's a self-closing tag. Most of the other ones, we always had a separate tag to close it. This one, you kind of open and close it within the same tag. So the image tag will be kind of like that as well, right? So hit enter, space, space, do a paragraph, and say, please read this disclaimer from Loras College. And then end the paragraph. Good, you can save, you can refresh. There you go, you got your line, you got the sentence, please read it, all right? So go back to Notepad. Now we got to link to that disclaimer. So right in front of the word this, you want to put in a less than sign, the letter A for an anchor tag, a space, and an attribute called the href attribute. So it's hypertext reference, href. Then that's followed by a value. So you type in an equal sign. And then the values are always in quotes. So type in double quote. The name of the file that you're going to link to is called disclaimer.html. So just type in disclaimer.html, type in another quote, a greater than sign, and then go to the end of the word this disclaimer. And you want to turn off your hyperlinking. So less than /a. So it turns off the anchor tag. And save it. And there you go. So now if you just mouse over this disclaimer and see at the bottom of the screen, it tells you where it's going to link. So if your links don't work, a lot of times you can look at the bottom and kind of see, all right, did I spell something wrong? Do I have a space in the wrong space? You know, whatever else. And that way it can help to kind of diagnose where any problems are. So click on it and it should take you to your disclaimer page. All right. Look good?
Yep.
All right, back out of here. All right, let's change this a bit. Go back to Notepad. All right, normally what we want to do is sometimes you want to go to a certain file. So like when we link to disclaimer.html, it looks in your My Web folder for a file that's called that. All right. So I want to also link Loras College. So take everything from that href disclaimer HTML. Not that, just start at the beginning, start from the far left. No. Go to the less than A. Right there. Start from there and highlight everything to disclaimer.html and the greater than sign. Right there. Great. Copy it. Put it in front of Loras College.
Right here.
Yep, and paste it there. All right. Change disclaimer.html to www.loras.edu. And then after the word college, you need to put in the /a. Well, less than /a, sorry. In other words, the closing tag for the anchor tag. All right, save it. Refresh. All right, now just mouse over that link. If you look at the bottom, it thinks that this is a file in your My Website. So the link's not going to work, all right? Go ahead, click on it. It says it can't find it because it's looking for a file called www.loras.edu. All right, back out of here. So it's not a file that we want to look for. We want to go to that URL. So change your notepad, and in front of the www.loras.edu, inside the quotes, you type in http://
Yeah.
and now save it. And then refresh and mouse over it and see how it's linking just to www.loras.edu. Go ahead and click, and hopefully we get Loras College's website. All right. Sound okay?
Yep.
All right, go back to that. I'll show you something else you can do with that A tag. After the www.loras.edu, go to outside the quote there, but before the, we're going to put in another attribute. So put in a space. It's target equals quote. Let's do try underscore blank. The underscore is like your dash, but you got to hold a shit. There you go. And the word blank. Oh, and then quote. Right. Try saving this and refresh it. All right. So now when you click on Loras College, do you see how it created a new tab? So you still have Isaac Nelson's tab, but now this one's showing up as a new page or a new tab on your. So if you go back to your page, you can't hit the back because this is a new tab. All right, there you go. Click on it again once. And it creates another new Loras College tab. So you can use some of these built-in targets where a lot of times what you'll do is anytime you're going to go to like an external website, you might want to put that as a blank. Or the other thing you can do with it, change that name from blank. Change it to, get rid of the underscore as well. Change it to, let's call it school. All right, we can give it our own name. So that way it'll create a new tab, but then it'll always be called school. So if you're going to link to UD, if you're going to link to Clark and so on, it would always open it up in this tab that's called school. So close up the Loras College, save this, close up that Loras College tab, refresh your page, click on the Loras College one. It creates a new tab called School. Now go back to your other web page. Leave it. Oh, too late. Click on it. All right, and let's change this thing. All right, change this to clark.edu. Clark with an E.
On the tab?
Right, yeah, right on the URL there. Try clark.edu. Then enter. All right, so there we can see Clark University, okay? Go back to your Isaac Nelson page. And now click on Loras College. And darn it. Go back to Isaac Nelson for me. Refresh this for me. And what happens when you click on Loras College? Huh. It should have opened that up it should have gone to Laura's. I don't know. Something's goofy. So I'll have to experiment with that one. But anyways, you can open up new tabs and do things like that. All right. Okay, let's go back to Notepad. And that looks pretty good. So can you go back to your Isaac Nelson's webpage?
Over here.
On the tab on,
Oh.
on the browser. All right, click on this disclaimer. And then can you click up in the URL area and copy that? What I want to do is I always want to make sure that we link to this page rather than looking for a file in your My Web folder. So go back to Notepad and see where it's got ahref disclaimer.html. Highlight the word disclaimer.html and then paste that URL that we just copied there. That way it's always going to go to this particular web page. So if we copy this file to other ones, it'll always know where that disclaimer page is. Okay. Let's change where I tried that target equals school. Let's make that target equals underscore blank. Do you like it when it opens up a new tab, or do you not like that?
What'd you say?
See, the hyperlink for Loras College. Go to the end of the line. Hit end. END. Your END key. There you go. All right. Right now, the target says school.
Yeah.
All right. If you change that to underscore blank, it will open up a blank tab every time somebody clicks on that, and it'll put it as a separate tag. That way they never lose your web page, right? That's why we do that. So let's hit Control Home. Go up to the main. There we go. That looks good. So other things we want to add in here. After body, that's the closing body. You want after the opening body. You want to hit enter. I want to put in a link to an image. So type in 2 spaces, less than, IMG for image tag, space. The attribute is the source attribute, SRC, equal, quote, Isaac.jpg. Quote, space. Then you got another attribute. It's the align attribute, ALIGN, equals, quote, right. So I want to take your picture and send it all the way over to the right. Quote, space. Then we want to give some alternate text. So it's ALT for alt, equals, quote, photo of Isaac Nelson. And you could do it your greater than sign. All right, save this. Go back to your browser and go back a page and hit refresh. And there's your picture, except it doesn't exist. So it displays the alternate text. All right, can you click on Clark University? Can you change the URL to google.com? On the far right-hand side, see where it says images? Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
All right, type in dog. Enter. Find a picture of a dog you like. Right-click on that picture of the dog. Save image as. You're going to change the location to your iDrive. You're going to drop it into my web. And the name of the file is Isaac. Just the way you spelled it in your link. I think you used a lowercase I. And save. All right, go back to your web page. Try refresh. There it is. There's your dog. It's kind of big, but it worked, didn't it? Yes? No?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So your picture's too big. All right. You know, we can't even read any of the other text, or not very well. So right click on your picture. See where it says inspect? And if you scroll down a little bit, how big is the picture?
Like the whole screen.
1200 by 900, okay? So that tells you how many pixels this image is. It's 1200 by 900. So tell me, is 1200, is that the height or is that the width? Does this picture look wider than it is tall?
Yeah.
Or does it look taller than it is wide?
It's the width.
All right, so 1200 is the width. 900 is the height. So what we want to do is we want to shrink this down a bit to see if we can get this to fit a little bit better. So what I might try doing is, let's shrink it down by a factor of 2, all right? Make it half the size. So go to your notepad. And actually, you can close up that image, the inspect thing. Sorry about that. There's an X way up there. Close that. Now go back to notepad for me. All right, inside the image tag, all right, so after your alt photo of Isaac Nelson,
Okay.
all right, go to the end of that line after the quote, but before the greater than sign. Type in a space. You want the width, so type in WIDTH, equal, quote. What's half of 1200?
600.
600. Quote, space. Height equals, lowercase, and it's EI. Height equals, half of 900 is 450.
4.5.
Yep.
450.
Quote, save it, refresh the page. How's that? A little better?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, this fits halfway decent. I mean, it's not a photo of you, obviously, all right? So if you want to make it, you know, just photo of a dog. But what I want on here is eventually I want to have a picture of like your high school senior portrait or something from, you know, anybody who's an athlete, they always have like the Duhawk athlete pictures, you know, so a profile picture of you. We want that on your main page. If we want to make this dog a little bit smaller, you could take 1200 divided by 3 and we could make it 400 by 300 because 900 divided by 3 is 300. You know what, it fits fairly well that way. Go ahead, try changing it to 400 and 300, and let's see how that works out. You know, I mean, that's not half bad. Look good?
Yep.
All right, let's do a couple things. Go back to Notepad. All right, so we got a picture. We got something about, hi, my name's Isaac. This is my web page. After that period on my web page, put in 2 spaces and say, here are a few things about, and then a colon. And make here with a capital H. No. There you go. All right, go to the end of that line. Hit enter. We're going to start an unordered list. So space, space, space. Back out 1. So it's even with those. There you go. Less than UL for unordered list. And a greater than. Hit enter. Space in 1, 2, 3 more, 3 times. There you go. Unordered lists have list items. So it's less than LI, greater than. So that's a list item. So here are a few things about me. So just type in the word me. And then do a less than /LI. Greater than, hit enter. Space in twice. We want to end the unordered list. So less than /UL. And a greater than, and save this and refresh your page. And here are a few things about me. All right. Save this. Let's go back to Notepad, and in front of me, you're going to want to do a anchor, and you're going to link to something. So it's a less than sign href. Need a space in between the A and the href. Equals, quote, and you're going to link to a folder called About Me. So capital A, no space, uppercase M, the quote, or wait, before the quote, sorry. So we're going to go to a folder called About Me. And then we're going to look in that folder for a file that's called index.html. So type in a / index.html. And then do the quote, and then do a greater than sign. And then after me, but before the LI, you need the /A. So less than /A. Greater than. And then you need a less than to close out the LI. All right. All right, that looks good. Hit your home key. Hold your shift key down. Oh, wait, go back to where you were. Keep going down. Right there. Hold your shift key. Hit your end key once. Copy that. Hit your end key again. Hit enter. Hit Control V once.
Control V?
Yeah, like to paste.
Okay.
Right? Hit enter. Do it again. So you've got about me. You've got about me 3 times, all right? So the second one, we're going to change that one to be, here are a few things about my family, all right? So change about me, the folder name about me, to just the word family with a capital F. And then you're going to change the word me to my family, my space family. All right, the next one you're going to change to courses. And then same thing, my courses rather than me. And you could do lowercase my courses there. And get rid of the second C, it should be an S on both of them. There you go. Good, save it. And refresh this. All right. So we've got some hyperlinks. It's going to go to these different folders. Right now, they're not going to work. Like if you click on me, we just got that 404 because that doesn't exist yet. So that's why it's giving you that error. All right, so back out. We got one more thing to change before we copy this file. So go back to Notepad. We want to add some color to it. So up where it's got the body tag, inside of that less than sign, right? It's part of the body tag, all right? There's an attribute, so type in a space. The attribute is the BG color attribute, short for background color. So it's BG color equals, quote, blue, end quote. Good, save it. Let's look at the page, and you've got beautiful blue. All right, so what's wrong?
You can't see the links.
Can't see the links. What else is wrong? It's blue. We hate blue. What do we like? Purple and gold. All right. So we got to change this, all right? No UD colors. So change the background color to purple. But the only problem with our purple background is this disclaimer is going to be purple on purple, and we won't be able to see those things. So, and the black on purple is a little bit hard to read. So outside of purple, cursor over one, type in a space. You can change the text color. So it's text equals, quote, white. So a light color on purple works pretty well. Type in another space. You can change the link color. So that's the links that we haven't clicked on. So it's link equals, quote, let's make it yellow. Excuse me. Do another space. There's an attribute for the active link, or I'm sorry, first you do the visited link. So it's vlink. Nope, leave the link alone. It's another attribute, right? So go to the end there. Vlink equals, quote, let's make it pink. Pink on purple actually shows up. And then finally, there's an A link. It means the active link. So type in a space, A link equals, quote, and you can try light blue. It's all one word. And quote, and you can get rid of that space. You don't, it's superfluous. And save it. How does it look? I mean, not half bad. Just try clicking on me and hold it. See how it turns kind of light blue there for a second?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the active link. All right. And then it gives us that error message, but so. So if you're all right with those colors, or if you want to change the colors, you can change the colors, no big deal. Can you go back to Notepad for me? Those attributes like BG color, text, link, VLink, and all that, they're what we call deprecated attributes. Deprecated just means they're old. They're kind of old fashioned. And even though they're still supported, they're really not the right way to do it. But the reason I'm showing you this is A, you'll see some web pages that still have this. B, it's an easier way of doing it. The kind of the newer way to do colors, it's like we got to jump through about 5 more hurdles to do it. This is pretty easy. And once you've got it in, it's done. All right, so this will work for all these pages. All right, now that we've got this page pretty well set, we've got to make a About Me page. All right, so if you click on File, Save As, you want to create a folder called About Me. So see where it says New Folder? Wait, go into, keep in My Web. All right, you don't want to move from that. Double click on that. See where it says New Folder? Up at the top?
Yeah.
Click there. Your folder name is About Me with a capital A, a capital M, no space. Spaces are bad. You don't want to put spaces in file names and stuff, all right? Hit enter. Double click on that folder. So this is where we're going to save your file. So it's down at the bottom where see where it says File, Save as Type? You always got to make sure you change that to all files. See where it says Index? Click on that and just type it in again, index.html. That way you're sure you have it spelled right. You're sure you have it in the right folder. It's in My Web, in About Me, hit save. You are now editing your About Me page. Even though it looks exactly like your home page, this is your About Me page because you put it in the About Me folder. So change the title to, instead of Isaac Nelson's My Web homepage, make it About Isaac Nelson. You can leave your name there, but too late. So down in the paragraph, hi, my name's Isaac Nelson. You can change the "and this is my web page" to something like, hi, my name's Isaac Nelson, and here are a few things about me. And delete off that other, here are a few things about, colon. All right. Instead of About Me index that, all the stuff between the LI and the /LI, delete that.
So all this?
No. Everything on the first line between LI and /LI.
So
That.
this
Yep.
right here?
Yep, delete that. Okay, type in something about you. I like dogs. Then the next line you're going to say, I am from, and then you're going to tell me one other thing about you. All right. See the image? Instead of doing isaac.jpg, we're going to change the file name to coolisaac.jpg. And instead of the photo of Isaac Nelson, you will say photo of Isaac Nelson doing something cool. and save it. And click on me. And there we go. All right. I like dogs. I'm from the suburbs, and my favorite sport is basketball. And we're going to get a picture of you doing something cool. Yes? No?
Yeah.
All right. Good. All right. And you'll have to size the image properly, do that kind of thing. All right. How does it look?
Looks good.
Yeah. It's not half bad. I mean, it would be nice to have, you know, a picture of you and a picture of you doing something cool. Is that good enough to get you going?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're going to have to make one for your family. You're going to have to make one for your friends, one for your courses. In courses, you're going to have to make a couple different course files. So, you know, one of them has to be the CIT 110 page. Your CIT 110 page should link to some of your homework assignments. So you could put a couple of those out there. You know, I would save your homework assignments, call them something simple. Loan.xls, GPA.xls, Outlook.docx. You know, and you could link to those files and it will download that stuff. So.
Could you go back to your notepad real quick?
So you want us to link our Outlook calendar to this webpage?
Sure. I mean, if there's private stuff you don't want, that's fine. You don't have to do that. But like all the stuff that you've done in my class, all right? You're gonna wanna go, Isaac, can you do me a favor? Can you go back to your main page? And then you can pull up Outlook or the notepad again. All right, so like for instance, what Isaac's got on his main page, those are some of the things that I want you to have on your main page. So you should have, here's some things about me, my family, my courses, my friends, things I've done. You know, I think I listed that on the homework assignment, all right? Then Isaac's going to click on my courses. It's going to list a course page. Hi, my name's Isaac. I took some classes at Loras College, and he's going to list about 10 classes that he took, or maybe 6 classes, okay? 3 of those classes is going to have a hyperlink on them. One of the hyperlinks is going to go to CIT 110. So he'll click on CIT 110. It'll say, hi, my name's Isaac Nelson. I took CIT 110 for Professor Hitchcock Fall 2020. Here are some things we did. And we'll list out some of the things that you did. I did the Outlook calendar. I did a loan assignment. I did a GPA assignment. And you can click on that stuff and see the file. Kind of makes sense? Isaac, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Or do you want to run through any of that?
I think I'm good.
All right. So if you don't mind, you can stop sharing. How's everybody else doing? Good? All right.
Yeah, pretty good. But there is a problem. Do you remember how I was the example last time and we set up the pages?
What
Do you
happened
remember
here?
that? So mine just looked really different than when we set it, and I didn't like mess with the code or anything at all, like with the formatting. Because I was the example last time and we set it up pretty much like how he did and everything like that. It's
Right.
just mine looked different, and I don't know why it looks that way. Do you want me to screen share it?
Sure. Let's see it.
Okay. Give me like 1 second. Okay. So this is the normal one, right? Like, I
Right,
didn't add anything like fancy. I didn't add any color. I didn't add any pictures.
right.
But when I click on courses, it looks like this.
Oh, man.
I don't
And go
know
back.
why it looks like
Go
that.
back.
Okay.
All right, remember what I told you guys never to do? Never double click on a file, because if you look in the URL, it says file I:/myweb index.html. You double clicked on your file index.html and it launched it in a browser. I told you never to do that.
Oh.
So leave this here,
Okay.
click in the URL,
Okay.
type in myweb.loris.edu.
Oh, give me 1 second, real quick. myweb.loris.edu. myweb.loris.
Slash
Well, slash.
and your ID. Hit refresh. You always want to hit refresh just to make sure that you have the current version. And now when you click on courses, it
Oh, it works
works.
now.
All right. So the
Okay.
difference is this is running through the web server. The other one wasn't running through the web server. And look at that. You got a picture of somebody. Wait, go back. That's not you, is it?
No.
You gotta have a picture of you doing something, all right? I don't want some lame computer thing that you probably are gonna get arrested because you didn't pay for the royalties on this image. You're gonna get your own picture of your own hands on your computer and, you know, or having you doing something that looks like you're a tech person, all right?
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
So you guys can't use any of these cheesy pictures. You got to come up with your own good pictures that have something like that. But no, that looks good.
Okay.
Do you
So
want to add some
for-
color to the pages?
Do I? Oh yeah. Add some color.
All right, yeah.
I
You
need
know, the
to.
only thing that's going to be bad is now since you've created some of these pages, you have to kind of touch every single page and put in that, you know, the body with all those things in it.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, you know, copy and paste, you'll get it done.
Yeah, it'll be
You
fine.
know. That's why don't
But-
make too many pages until you make the first really good one. All right. So at
Okay.
least you do have courses. So eventually you're going to want to link to me, and it's going to link to some stuff about you. You're going to want to link
Okay.
to family. You know, and for your family, you could have something. Say you did like a family trip someplace. You know, so you can make a web page about a family trip that you took. Or if you really like your mom, you could make something for mom.html and she could have her own picture,
Mhm.
you know, and stuff. You know, just the more pages you can add, the more it kind of does stuff. You know.
Okay. How many do we need for this assignment? Do you know?
For the first one, I mean, actually what you've got done right now, you're done for Thursday.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it looks pretty good. It's starting to work out. But eventually I want you to have, I don't know, just a bunch of pages, you know, and try some different things out. See if you can come up with, instead of doing bulleted listed, try some numbered lists with an OL tag. You know, I mean, there's different tags to test out, you know, things like that. It's more just kind of experimenting. You know, don't spend 10 hours working on this assignment, but spend a couple hours. Have some fun with it.
Okay. Sounds good. That
All right.
was just my question because I was so confused. I'm
Yep,
like, I
yep.
did nothing to the code or anything. Like, what did I do?
Yeah, that's why don't double click on those files. You always got to go through myweb.loris.edu
Okay.
and do that.
Perfect.
All right. Okay. Anybody else having troubles? If you guys aren't having any problems, you can take the 20 minutes or so that we have left and work on your pages. Just make sure before you do that you say goodbye. If anybody does have questions or, you know, hey, something's not working on their website, stick around, share your screen, and we'll get that fixed. All right. I mean, we're going to be doing a bit more of this on Thursday too. So just check in, and, you know, if you've got things that you want to work on, we can kind of do that. Otherwise, have a good day, everybody.
If we aren't on campus, we have to set up the VPN, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Do we have to be on campus to set that up?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do you want to should we do it now?
I can see if I have the form somewhere. I don't know where I put it.
It should be on eLearn. Like way at the top on the course website.
On your course website?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll just grab it off there then.
Rachel, Josh, do you guys have any questions? Or did you just check out for a while? All right, so Ryan, yeah, I'll stick around here and
All right.
let's see if we can figure it out. If you want, you could share the screen and
Yeah, sure.
and just share the whole screen.
You know how to share the whole screen?
Let me just stop recording. We don't need to do this.